Hello, my friend. Let's jump right in. Here's a handy guide for distinguishing between jihadist terrorists and freedom fighters. Consider the objective. Jihadists seek to create an Islamic state under Sharia law. They achieve their objective mostly through terrorism, maximizing civilian bloodshed, and often fronting as freedom fighters to gain support from naive Westerners. Freedom fighters seek to overthrow authoritarian regimes and replace it with secular or democratic governments that support the rights, freedoms, and liberties of all civilians. They do not prioritize targeting civilians, rather avoiding violence and limiting violent acts to inanimate objects such as buildings or military bases. As you can see, the key distinguishing factor is that one is fighting for freedom, the other against freedom in its ideological pursuit for power, dominion, and control. So, some examples. Islamic regimes proxies, Hezbollah, Hamas, the Houthis, and ISIS, all equal jihadists. Iranian protesters and certain Syrian rebel groups are freedom fighters. And, expanding on that is the point of human shields. And maybe like me, you've thought the term human shields, which I've used in multiple videos and multiple podcast episodes, was potentially a misnomer that should be instead human swords, especially in the context of jihadists. Let me explain. The concept of asymmetrical warfare refers to two belligerents who have disproportionate powers and capabilities, and therefore the weaker uses the stronger's strength against them. That strength is typically greater military capabilities. How do jihadists use this against them? By hiding itself and its weaponry in sensitive and protected spaces to strategically maximize human casualties so that the world draws condemnation for and directs consequences to the stronger power and urges a ceasefire, leaving jihadists unscathed and able to continue their mission for conquest with impunity and with the world's sympathy. A double win, some might say. Yahya Sinwar admitted maximizing civilian casualties was part of their strategy in leaked audios. There is a reason they say they love death more than they love life, but nobody pays attention to that part or simply believes them. Ironically, then the world's mass condemnation against a stronger power, such as exclusively attributing the death toll to that power as a reflection of its inherent evil and making no mention of the jihadist role in this, actually reinforces the strategy and puts more civilians at risk. Putting the spotlight on jihadists for their role would keep civilians safer by minimizing the value of the human swords strategy. The world needs to dispense with its bigotry of low expectations in believing that Middle Eastern militants don't have long-term, deeply nefarious strategies. When will they wake up and see what is right in front of them? The munitions didn't make their own way into school playgrounds and into safe zones. They didn't just put themselves there by themselves. Thank you for your time and attention.